Geology and Tectonic Evolution of South America. South America. This vast continent feels timeless, from the towering Andes to the vast Amazon basin. But South America is the product of more than 4 billion years of tectonic change. Ancient Cratons colliding, supercontinents forming and breaking apart, oceans opening, and mountains rising skyward. Let's travel through the geological timeline and discover how South America came to be we know it now. In the beginning, before even the continent we know now would exist, there was an ancient Cratons. It's the oldest rocks on Earth we can find right now. About 4 billion years ago, that's how far we can trace the oldest rocks on our planet's surface. South America's foundation consists of several ancient Cratons, stable blocks of continental crust that have survived billions of years of tectonic activity. And the largest one of these is the Amazonian Craton, which formed the geological heart of this continent. Some rocks within the Amazonian and San Francisco Cratons are more than 3.4 billion years old. These ancient gneisses, granites, and greenstone belts preserve evidence of early Earth, when the planet's crust was still forming and ever-changing. Volcanic eruptions, mountain building, erosion, and cementation were already shaping that landscape. Greenstone belts formed during the time and will later become rich sources of gold and other valuable minerals. These ancient Cratons become the seeds from which South America would eventually grow. Next period for South America was the 2.2 till 1.8 billion years ago Trans-Amazonian cycle. It was the one of the first major tectonic reorganization for the pre-South America rocks. Around 2.2 billion years ago, continental fragments began colliding across what is now northern and eastern South America. These collisions formed mountain belts and wedged together large blocks of continental crust. Geologists call this event the Trans-Amazonian cycle. Ancient mountain ranges rose across the landscape, comparable in scale to modern mountain belts. Vast quantities of magma intruded into the crust, while erosion carried sediments into nearby basins. But about 1.8 billion years ago, many of South America's oldest crustal blocks had merged into a large continental mass. Perhaps it was the part of the Earth's earlier supercontinents. Next stage, from 1 billion years ago till 500,000 years ago, is the Brazilian cycle and Gondwana assembly. And it's occurred during the late Precambrian. Beginning around 1 billion years ago, tectonic forces once again brought continental fragments together. Cratons, including Amazonia, San Francisco, Rio de la Plata, and Alto Paraguay, gradually collided along enormous suture zones. This event, known as the Brazilian cycle, produced one mountain belts across what is now Brazil, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Argentina. Volcanic arcs, island chains, and smaller continental fragments were squeezed together and incorporated into the growing continent. At the same time, South America became joined with Africa and other southern landmasses to form the supercontinent Gondwana. And by the end of the Precambrian, the fundamental framework of South America has been assembled. A stable continental platform stretched across much of the region, setting the stage for the next phase of evolution, reshaping this continent into the more familiar modern form. The early Paleozoic and formation of new oceans and growing basins we date about 540 till 490 million years ago. At that time, Paleozoic era began, and the supercontinent configuration started to change. Rifting and tectonic stretching affected the western margin of Gondwana. New passive continental margins develop along the edge of what is now South America. Large sedimentary basins formed across the interior, including Amazonas, Paraná, Parnaíba, and Chaco basins. Shallow seas flooded vast areas of this continent. Sand, mud, limestone accumulated over millions of years, preserving abundant marine fossils, including trilobites and graptolites. You can still find these fossils in South America land. Meanwhile, the tectonic activity along the western margin slowly intensified as the oceanic crust began descending beneath the continent. The process we can still observe now. The foundation of future mountain ranges were beginning to form. From 490 till 252 million years ago, continental collisions along the western margins occurred. Throughout the Paleozoic, South America's western edge became a zone of repeated collisions. Fragments of crust, island arcs, and microcontinents approached from the west and crashed into the continent. Regions such as Patagonia, the Arequipa block, and the Precordillera were gradually accreted onto South America. Each collision generated mountain-building events and caused the continental margin to grow outward. Volcanic arcs developed offshore, producing chains of volcanoes and vast plutonic intrusions beneath the surface. Large foreland basins formed east of the growing mountains, collecting sediments eroded from the rising highlands. By the late Paleozoic, these tectonic events had significantly expanded the continent, and then came the stage of the large supercontinent on our planet. To 320 till 252 million years ago, the Pangaea was formed. Thus, near the end of the Paleozoic, Gondwana collided with northern continents to create this supercontinent, Pangaea. South America became part of the enormous landmass that stretched nearly from pole to pole. Subduction continued along the western margin, but tectonic conditions gradually changed. Huge volumes of magma rose through the crust, generating widespread volcanic activity. Flood basalts and rhyolitic eruptions covered large regions of western South America, the remnants of which you can find now. Far inland, extensive deserts developed across parts of Pangaea. Rivers and lakes crossed arid landscapes populated by early reptiles and other terrestrial life. But the supercontinent would not last. As many times on our planet, continents collide together into the large supercontinents and then break apart again. The eternal cycle of the continent. We can pinpoint the breakup of Pangaea about 252 till 145 million years ago. During the Triassic and Jurassic period, it started fragmenting. The crust stretched and cracked across many regions of South America. Rift valleys developed along ancient zones of weakness inherited from earlier collisions. New sedimentary basins formed, preserving fossils of dinosaurs and mammal-like reptiles. One of the most famous is Argentina's Igualasto Basin, which records some of the earliest dinosaurs known. As tectonic stretching intensified, South America slowly began separating from Africa. This first stage of new ocean was underway. And one of the most dramatic events in South America history occurred during the early Cretaceous. 145 to 100 million years ago was the stage of opening of the South Atlantic. South America and Africa plates finally began drifting apart. Rifting started in the south and gradually propagated northward. As the continents separated, magma surged upward through the thinning crust. Today, on the bottom of the Atlantic, you can find a mid-oceanic ridge, which still exists. Rifting started in the south and gradually propagated northward. As the continent separated, magma surged upward through the thinning crust. Huge volcanic eruptions accompanied the breakup, while the new oceanic crust formed between the diverging continents. The South Atlantic Ocean was born. Along the newly formed continental margins, enormous sedimentary basins accumulated thick deposits of sand, mud, carbonates, and evaporites. Over time, these basins become some of the world's richest petroleum provinces, including the Santos, Campos basins, offshore Brazil. For roughly 100 million years ago, open ocean circulation connected the South and North Atlantic Oceans. South America was now an isolated continent. 66 million years ago till the present, it's the stages of rise of the Andes, the greatest orogeny. While the Atlantic was opening to the east, another dramatic process was unfolding to the west. Oceanic Nazca Plate began subducting beneath South America. As dense oceanic crust descending into the mantle, enormous forces compressed the continent. The crust shortened, thickened, and as a result, it rose upward. This process created the Andes Mountains, the longest continental mountain range on Earth. Volcanic arcs developed along the lengths of the continent, and the massive volcanoes erupted in Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Ecuador, and Colombia. Granitic intrusions formed deep underground, while rich deposits of copper, gold, silver, and other metals accumulated throughout the mountain belt. The Andes did not rise all at once. Different sections evolved under different tectonic conditions. In the north, oceanic terrains collided with the continent. In the central Andes, crustal shortening produced vast high plateaus such as Altiplano. In the south, long chains of volcanic mountains developed above active subduction zones. Even today, the Andes continue to rise. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions remind us that this mountain building process is still active. And the most recent chapter began during the Ice Ages, about 2.6 million years ago. Large glaciers formed all around the planet and on the Andes as well, particularly in Patagonia. There was the source of the growing glaciers over the continent. During the period of maximum glaciation, ice sheets extended far beyond the mountains and in some places reached the Atlantic coast. Glaciers carved valleys, fjords, lakes, rugged mountain landscapes across South America. And as the climate warmed, the ice started retreating, and about 12,000 years ago, much of the modern landscape has merged, which is characterized by a lot of glacial material, very active, remobilized by the melting waters, through glacier fluvial processes, formation of an enormous amount of lakes, and constant melting and coming back of the glaciers, pushing, bulldozing this material, and creating integrative features on the surface. Also today we have active volcanoes line the Andes. Powerful earthquakes occur regularly along the Pacific margins. Meanwhile, the ancient Cratons of eastern South America remain among the most stable regions on Earth. South America is one of the ancient continents that built through billions of years of tectonic change. From its ancient Precambrian Cratons and the assembly of Gondwana, through the formation and breakup of Pangaea, an opening of Atlantic Ocean, and the rise of Andes, its history is one of constant transformation. The Amazon Basin, the Brazilian highlands, Patagonia, and the Andes all preserve chapters of this extraordinary journey. Beneath every landscape lies a story written over billions of years. And this story continues today.